Hello everyone, this is Giovany, BackYard Flick Reviews. Today we're going to review Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. It has finally arrived after 2 years from The Force Awakens, and we finally have it here. Lucasfilm, Disney, Star Wars, once again. Before we get started though, I'm going to announce the giveaway for this video, and it's going to be 4 giveaways. So we have Rey, FUNKO Pop, we have Kylo Ren, and Captain Phasma FUNKO Pop, and I'm also doing a poster of The Last Jedi. So those are the 4 giveaways. So just like the other one that I did for Justice League, you must be a subscriber to my channel. It's BackYard Pictures. So go to my channel and subscribe if you haven't already. And when you do, or if you already done so, comment on the section below and say subscribed or been subscribed. And also, just like the Justice League review that I did, the giveaway, type in priority which one you want the best, which one would you like first. Say you like Kylo Ren, or let's say you like Rey, but you want Kylo Ren or Rey as number 1, and then so on. If you want the poster, if you prefer a poster of The Last Jedi, put that on there as your number 1 choice. And then I'm going to select 4 different subscribers, and from there I'm going to randomly pick out a name, a YouTube user from a hat or something, and then I'll do the giveaways and then I'll announce it. So with that being said, let's get started with the review. So again, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to give you too many details about some of the characters in there, but some of the characters deal with some stuff, and there are some scenes in the movie that you're just like, whoa, like Keanu Reeves and basically every movie. But it's great. The surprises, the way the story goes, the direction Rian Johnson is going, I felt it worked pretty well for the most part. Like I said, there are some story arcs, some characters that are underutilized, and the story sometimes I just feel like it's just there. Like I'm sure there's a purpose for it in the story, and it does go back to it at the end, but it's just not really that interesting. But again, we'll get into that as far as the negatives. As far as the overall script, it's well written. Most of the story, like I said, is really good. The direction is really great. We got to see Carrie Fisher again. They use her pretty well. She has a significant role in the movie, and I really enjoyed her scenes. I won't go into details as far as what happens and whatnot, but her character was really strong in this movie. There are some other characters that I thoroughly enjoyed, and the performances were really great. Luke Skywalker is awesome in this movie, probably his best, or at least Mark Hamill's best performance in a Star Wars movie, possibly best performance ever. And Carrie Fisher did a great performance as well, but I think the one that really stands out, at least to me, is Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. I liked his performance the best, and I liked his character, his story arc the best. I like Kylo Ren in Force Awakens. I like more of the Empire or First Order type of guy, I guess you could say, more than the Rebel Resistance type of guy. But I like Kylo Ren in Force Awakens because I liked his character. He's conflicted. He's kind of like Darth Vader, like he's being pulled from both sides, good, or the light and the dark side. And then we have Rey, obviously the main lead. She does a fine job in it as well. Then we get to see a little bit more of Snoke in this film. Again, I won't go into details of it, but we see a little bit more of him. And then we also learned some new information that we didn't know in Force Awakens, so there are some surprises in there. There's some revelations that we were wondering. When we get to Finn and then Rose, their story arc is going to be the weakest, at least in my opinion. It was the weakest story arc of the whole film. It kind of slows down when we get to them. I wasn't that really intrigued in their story, and it's important. It's important of what's going on, but I just didn't really care too much for it. Poe Dameron has more of a role here. He's utilized a lot more than Force Awakens for sure. in the beginning and middle and end. I think Force Awakens really just only showed them in the beginning and towards the end, but they use it a little bit more in this movie. The Porgs, there was a lot of question regarding the Porgs, if they're gonna be like annoying, is this gonna be the Jar Jar Binks of the new trilogy? And the Porgs are actually not annoying, at least I didn't think so, and they use them just the amount of time that it doesn't become like annoying or becoming like a thing, again like Jar Jar Binks or something. So the Porgs are perfectly fine. Another character in this film that really stands out, surprisingly, who does a big part in this, is BB-8. BB-8, who is a droid and doesn't have any actual lines, or as an actual character, or an actor I mean. He has a pretty significant role in this movie, and he does some cool stuff in it. So I was a little surprised about that. Then we have General Hux. He has some funny moments in there as well, surprisingly. It's more at his expense. Not that he says something hilarious or anything like that. I mean, there are a lot of dark parts in the movie, a lot of dark elements in it, but it's not as dark as, let's say, Empire Strikes Back. There are some funny scenes in it, good funny moments in it, which I actually wasn't expecting as many. But it's not to the level of, let's say, like Thor Ragnarok, that was trying to be more funny more often, or like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or anything like that. But it does have a lot more funny moments than I was expecting. And then, of course, we have Rey, who is, training with Luke. I don't think Rey is something like a Luke Skywalker. I still don't think that she's the new Luke that I'm so like, oh shit, this is so amazing, this is the great Jedi. She's getting obviously better and stuff like that. But as far as me, as a favorite character, Rey is not a Luke Skywalker for me yet. And then we have some of the new characters, the character Rose, and then the characters played by Benicio del Toro, and the characters played by Laura Dern. These new three characters, I didn't really care too much for. They're definitely not new characters like, let's say, John Boyega, or Oscar Isaacs, or Daisy Ridley, or Adam Driver. These three new characters are not, I know they're not main roles or big roles, but ultimately I just didn't care too much for those three new additions of Star Wars. So The Last Jedi does give you some answers that were left, some questions that were left from Force Awakens, some answers, but not all of them. I mean, we still have another movie that's coming out in 2 years, Episode 9, and I am looking forward to that. I think I already mentioned special effects, but the special effects in this movie are really great. I mean, you expect amazing special effects from a Star Wars movie, but in The Last Jedi was specifically, or especially, I mean, was especially good. Snoke looks amazing in this film. He looked kind of weird in The Force Awakens, but he was a hologram, so I guess you can kind of forgive that. But he looks great in this film. And then the space battles, I think I already mentioned, when things blow up and the ships and they're just flying around and stuff like that. That's done very well. The walkers are great. The Porgs look pretty cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into the negatives, and like I said, there's not that many negatives, but there is enough amounts that I'm gonna mention them here, and it's gonna be enough for me to not say that it's a perfect Star Wars movie or the best Star Wars film ever, because it's not. And I think I already mentioned that, what the negative is, and it's the story arc between Finn and Rose. They go off somewhere, and like I said, the point of that is important, but the journey, the adventure, I guess you can say, kind of slowed down the movie. I felt like it kind of halted it. Like, cool stuff is happening, and then we go back to Finn and Rose, and it just kind of like slowed down. Okay, another negative that I'm going to mention, that I still don't feel that, let's say, Poe or Rey are still at the levels of the original three, Han, Leia, and Luke. And that might just be something that's, I'm just biased because I grew up with the original Star Wars trilogy, but I don't feel that these new characters are in par with them. They're great, they're amazing, and they're really good and all that stuff, and I'm glad that we're moving along with them. But they're no Luke, they're no Leia, they're no Han Solo. I'm just gonna straight off say that. Even though I really like Kylo Ren, obviously Kylo Ren is no Darth Vader. Snoke is no Palpatine, and so on. But for this new generation, it's a great story. It's gonna move along with the Star Wars fans, with new generations of it, and it's all great and all that stuff. And I still really love Star Wars. I'm not saying that I don't like these new characters and whatnot, but I'm just gonna have to compare it to the original, and it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be in par with those original three. And another negative that I'm going to bring up is the second act is pretty slow. Even as a Star Wars fan as myself, I did feel the second act kind of dragged a little bit, and it kind of does go back to the whole Finn Rose thing. But it was pretty slow in the second act. Without going into, again, the details, I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this review. I'm not going to go into detail. But yeah, the second act was a little slow, but not enough to say, you know, that I was bored or it was bad or anything like that. But just so that you know, the second act was a little slower than, let's say, the first, and obviously the third act. Third act is always supposed to pick up and be, you know, blowing shit up and whatnot. With that being said, I mean, Star Wars: The Last Jedi is a great film. It's a lot of fun. I think you will enjoy it. As far as my rating system, Star Wars: The Last Jedi is definitely a see it, and I'm going to grade it an A-. So I think that concludes my review of The Last Jedi. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you're a subscriber, follow the instructions so you can possibly win one of the giveaways, the Funko Pops. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you guys next time.